Hey guys, Willie Creeman back with the NFC South again, talking about the Atlanta Falcons, who finished with a record of 7-10, which was good enough for third in the division. Raheem Morris, they bring him in, he gets his shot at being a head coach, and they're going to try to get productivity out of their top picks, right? That Atlanta spent the last few years on with Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan, right? I just think they have too much talent on that side of the ball to end the way they did last year. They add Kirk Cousins, which was like the biggest courting of someone in the free agency period, possibly tampered with, but we don't know. But they bring him in, and they paid him as well. But I just think they became the top team in the division with the signing of him because I think it automatically upgrades this offense in a way it hasn't been upgraded for many years. And you just look at like the draft capital in fantasy for Bijan, Drake London, and Pitts. It's skyrocketed due to Kirk Cousins being there. The defense, listen, last year was good, but they just needed to add that versatile pass rusher, that dog on the defensive side and the draft, and that's what we were all hoping for. Now, their biggest free agent addition has to be Cousins, right? Hands down, for a couple of reasons, right? Not only does it make your team better, but it also weakens another team in the NFC. In addition to that, it also leapfrogs you over many of the teams within your division, where Atlanta was kind of competing with teams like New Orleans and, they were better than Carolina. Now I feel like they're much better than both of those teams. And now it's between them and Tampa Bay to figure out who's going to be king of this division. Now, in terms of the worst free agent addition, I think it's Darnell Mooney, right? And I think just by process of elimination, right? I don't think it's a bad signing, but I just wanted to see them kind of shake things up and really go after someone like another big name, solid receiver opposite Drake London, and they just weren't able to do that. I would have loved to see them in the draft take Malik Neighbors, like trade up and snag him if he was still there, right? But the draft unquestionably, unequivocally, this was the worst draft out of any team. And I know it's going to be scrutinized for years unless Penix becomes a Hall of Famer and unbelievable. That's going to mean something else ended up being bad. But unless he's unbelievably good, they're always going to look at this draft and say, like, Atlanta reached on this. So either the Cousins signing was a failure, which I hope that's not the case because I really like Cousins and I think he's going to provide a lot for this team, or the pick was awful. And for a team that's looking to win now within a 2 to 3 year window, I don't think you want to draft a backup quarterback at that point. I really think they needed to go after pass rusher or defensive back or even a stud receiver. I could have understood that and gotten my head around that. He's going to be 26 at that point, 2 years of sitting behind Kirk. Hopefully he's able to learn and absorb a lot during that time. But I don't know, man. Like I really, it's a very questionable pick at that point, and I really would have liked to see them take it another direction. However, in Fontenot's defense, like he came back and did pretty well with pursuing some of the defensive tackles, like Orohoro out of Clemson and Dorless out of Oregon. I really liked both of those. Trice wasn't a bad pick either, but I don't think that he has the ceiling that Dallas Turner or Latu had, and that's what I really would have liked to see for this team.